Okay, I turned my audio off here. Cool. Sorry, guys, I've never done this before. So, like this. I mean, I did it in a restaurant with my phone, but this time I'm using my computer, and it's not a very good computer, and my signal kind of sucks. So, uh, if you guys are having trouble hearing me or whatever, just pop that in the chat, and I'll double check and see what I can rectify. But yeah, we'll give it a couple more moments to let more people jump on if they want. Um, I do have a few things kind of jotted down. I kind of decided this morning because I kind of felt a little frustrated with not being able to get out some of my ideas. So maybe this is a better way for me to do that. So I'm just giving this a try. All right, I gotta make it a point to look at the camera and not the screen. So forgive me for that. Adjusting here. So flat Earth vegans, thank you so much for coming by, guys. Jack Griffin. Who else? Earlier, System Overlord, aka Flat Earth City, was by, but he's actually working right now, so he will probably stop in later. Yes, distilled water. Distilled water. Got to do it. Detoxify, Keep everything on the detox. Yeah. Usually I have a smoothie. I haven't had my smoothie this morning because I ran out of bananas, and without the bananas, it's no fun. So, um, but yeah. All right. So before I get started, because there's so much I wanted to talk about today, and I wanted to first of all let me just kind of go over what we're going to go over today. So, um, activism. What can you guys do? What can fellow flat earthers do now that you know the Earth is flat? Uh, to do activism. I'm sure all you guys got ideas out there, and I'm sure some of you guys are following people that you like. But I just wanted to kind of touch base on a couple other ideas that I think are cool that you might enjoy, or you might want to adopt, or whatever. Or for those who are just getting started, maybe that'll inspire you to do something too. So I do have a list of things. Orbs Realm, how's it going, man? Yeah. So, yeah, so going over what we're going to be using um, as activists out there on the field to communicate our message to the public. So, um, I'll go over that, and then I got a little bit of show and tell, what I'm working on and stuff that I want to do. And also, I want to go over the history of activism for myself in the flat Earth community, and um, what I've been up to so far, sort of like a show and tell kind of thing. And then where do we go from here is the thing I want to wrap up with. And that's going to be basically what's the future for the community of flat Earth. Thank you, Wilted Don Care. Whittled. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. We got to be more open with this because I feel like I don't know about you guys, but the reason why I kind of jumped into the whole activism thing was kind of accidental, but at the same time, uh, not just inspiration from others, but it was sort of frustration in the community, and um, what flat Earth has been doing, and a lot of people kind of got caught into I guess, the dialogue between fellow YouTubers kind of thing, and that's not what flat Earth is about. That dialogue has to do only with YouTube. It has very little to do with flat Earth as an idea itself. And I think people were kind of, and I myself, I think I caught myself kind of falling into the um, the world of YouTube as what flat Earth is, and that's not true. And that's another thing too, is that I've noticed in the community is like everybody's got something to say about what some other YouTuber is doing, and whatever, but people need to remember that it's flat earth. You know what I'm saying? Like the earth is flat. So we got to do stuff. So it's what we're doing as a as people, as flat earthers. Now that we realize this, like we went to the YouTube community to learn about maybe this idea, that idea, and then do our own research and then sort of like back reference and stuff like that to get our own understanding, and then go out and do experiments too. So, um, yeah, guys, like that's pretty much what happened to me. Is like I got caught up into the YouTube world and I wasn't really paying attention to the idea that now I know the earth is flat. What am I doing about it? Like what am I doing? What am I doing about the guy next to me who doesn't know, and my best friend and my family and all these other people who don't know? And it's like we got to do something, right? Like we can't just be like, "Hey, watch YouTube and then you'll become like me." It's like now we have to be the educators. So, Zoom Truth, you're another person I wanted to bring up today. So hopefully you stick around. But yeah, so that was my whole thing. Um, where we're going, what we're doing. I reached a pivotal moment where I realized YouTube was limited, and then now it's about doing it. But I was like, well, YouTube is a great platform for teaching. So since activism has to take its next step, why not use YouTube as a great platform for teaching activism? So then people can just do that and not have to worry about, you don't have to create a channel. You could create a channel if you want to teach others to do activism. But if you're just doing activism, just do activism. But that aside, if you're filming it, it's good because with my personal experience, me and Flat Earth City and the other guys and British Steve and Arya and you know Little Yeti and everybody, it the camera helps because it's like a form of protection. It lets the public know that what they say is being watched. You're on point with what you're saying because we're going to look at it. Like, so if you're going to just spot out any lie, it's going to be caught on tape. So you might want to not want to lie because it could probably be easily proven. And then secondly, if you want to get upset and act irrationally, well, you're being watched too. And the way I see it too is like a lot of them take offense. Like you have a camera and you got to point out to them, like, there's a camera right there above you on the street pole. There's a camera right over there. There's a camera right over. You're just look, pick up your phone. You have a camera facing you and a camera facing away from you. So when you're on the phone, that phone is watching everything that you're not watching. And when you're looking at the phone, that phone is looking at you looking at the phone. So don't have a problem with me, videotaping this situation because I'm just protecting myself and also trying to bring more seriousness to the situation, more credibility to the situation. So I don't know. I ran off on a tangent. Hey, what's up, John James? Zoom Truth. Hey guys, Zoom Truth. Yeah. So with that being said, I think I went off on a rant, and I probably expected myself to do that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and kick things off. And I'll do my best to kind of watch the chat. Hey, all people, free people, Dave. What's up, man? How you doing? So, yeah, for everybody that's joining in, I'm just going over a couple of things that we're going to be starting. We're going to be talking all things activism, what you can do in the community as people who are aware to the truth to be active and fellow activists out there and help spread the word and help bring awareness to what we can do as people because you do have impact. Like this is the thing, is like flat this whole process has taught me so much more about who and what we are. And we were told all our lives how you personally cannot make an impact on the world around you unless you become famous, unless you become this or that. That is such bull. And this is a lie that you've been sold. We were watching TV, we're watching, we're listening to the radio, whatever, podcast, this and that, and we're putting people above us when we don't realize that they have as much reach as you do. You think you don't have reach, and I'm gonna just disagree with that and show you how much reach you do have. And then that is when I first started this, I didn't think I had any reach at all. You know, um, I felt like like basically if I said something, nobody's gonna listen to me anyway. So what can I do as a person, and I was totally wrong. And what I found is just by starting small conversations, I started noticing people's lives changing around me, especially with flat Earth. Like you mentioned little evidences here and there, and you talk to your friends, you go back, like I found out my old boss ended up becoming a flat earther, and I was like, what? Just because I mentioned something about what was said about the topic, and then that sort of sparked his interest and stuff like that. Which, by the way, Mike, I don't know if you're watching, but what's up, Mike? So basically, you have reach. We all have reach. We just don't realize what kind of reach we have. I mean, you can spend 15 minutes on a busy corner and affect hundreds of people's lives, maybe even thousands, with just 45 minutes of activism. And I know it sounds crazy, but you have to think about it like this. You're a crazy flat earther. People see you as a crazy flat earther, right? They talk about that crazy flat earther, and then that person talks about that person who talked about the crazy flat earther. So right there alone, you've already reached a countless amount of people just for being who you are, just for being a person that questions the narrative. And we all need to do that. We all need to question the narrative. So all right, give me 1 second. Getting a little dehydrated. All right. Okay, so thank you for everyone for being here. Thank you. We got 15 people watching. Awesome. We got 6 thumbs up. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Get this out there because we want to bring more activists into this world. We want to inspire more people to activate themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with some things. We're going to talk about the history of my activism and how it kind of started and what I did personally to make things happen. This is why I called it, you know, Flat Earth Activism DIY, because it's about what you can do. I'm an artist, but you don't have to be an artist to do some of this stuff, and this is why I chose a lot of this stuff because it's really easy to do. So we're gonna just kind of start with the first thing. So I'm sure some of you guys have got into stamps, stamping on money, stamping on street signs, street poles. You can literally stamp on a lot of stuff. It wipes away really easily, so people can't get upset if you use the right ink. Um, but just be sure not to put it in places people can get it on their clothes. But I think they even have permanent ones for those who are risky. Uh, I'm not condoning that kind of behavior. So anyway, I'll let the camera kind of focus. This is, it's basically, one of those stamps where you can kind of put your own message in. It comes with these little letterboard rack things, and you can write all kinds of crazy cool stuff on there. And I'll show you which one I have set up here. I have my own mess. Oh, that's the wrong box. Give me 1 second. Where's my stamps? Oh, you know what? Did I put them in the car? I might. All right. So yeah, it looks like I put it in the car because I was actually using it the other day. I'm sorry about that. Uh, but just going over some things, you can get these colored stamp pads and stuff. And then what I did was I got sticker paper. You can get this on Amazon, whatever. It's like super cheap. And you get the stamp, you make your own message, and you can stamp different colors or whatever. It comes with like a ink pad, or you can buy other ink pads, and you just stamp your own message stickers. So you don't have to print anything out. You don't need a printer. You don't need anything else. Or you can go on Amazon and you can do those custom message stamps where you actually put your own message in them, and you can stamp those on stickers. And then what I did was I essentially just did that, did a bunch of those, cut them out, right? And then had those on me at all times. And then I would stick them on stuff. And I would use like the cheaper brand stickers so that they're easy to peel off. They don't leave any residue. They're not as sticky as the professional grade ones, but you can get a lot of stuff, like you can get it out there and easily show the public, a little message. You can have something like, research flat earth, or there's like flatearth101.com, and then there's, you know all types of other places, websites and stuff that you can flash and get other people to look into. So with that in mind, what I did was I got some books on Amazon. So I have, classic. Sorry, too much light. The Earth, Not a Globe, 100 Proofs, by Carpenter, W.M. Carpenter, aka uh, yeah, yeah. So you can get books like this, and what I did was I just pulled information. I made little notes. I'm looking for something that I wrote down. Okay, maybe it wasn't from this book. Here's another book for those religious people out there. Zetetic Cosmogony, also another really good book. So what I did was I gathered information from all these books. I put them into a regular PDF, and I made my first trifold. And that first trifold, uh, it kind of sucked. It wasn't interesting. It was just black text and a white background on white paper. It was the cheapest thing I can do, but it had some Eric Dubay stuff on there, and a good amount of information that they should question, like the curvature and stuff like that. So I did that. And then finally, I hooked up with Friend of Yahweh, and I'm sure you're all familiar with this. Is also, the light's really bright, but we did this flyer here. And I got these professionally printed and everything like that, but they got some great resources. But yeah, I guess he saw the first one. He's like, dude, you need pictures. And I was like, yes, I know I need some pictures, because people, when they open it up and it's nothing but just text, they're going to be, a little turned off by that. So pictures are good. So yeah, with that said, that's just like a little bit what you can do with getting things going. Like, there are places where you can download this. Like, we set it up to where it's online and anybody can download this now. I wish I had that other thing, but we did that. And then to take it to the next step, these are one of the stickers that I designed on. Sorry, I'm trying to get that glare to stop. All right. So basically, I designed this sticker on the computer, and then I just basically printed it out on sticker paper myself, and then I just cut it out myself, and then I put a tape coating on it. The link for the trifold is on pretty much almost all of my activism videos, except for the last 3 recent ones. I forgot to put it up on there, but and then you can also find it on I believe David Weiss's Truth Frequency channel. And then there's also tons of links on, I think it's on flatearth101.com as well. And I'm trying to think of whoever, there's a couple other people that linked it. I mean, a lot of people passed it around. So lots of people are telling me to bring tablet with the video of astronaut liars, bubbles, harnesses, and glitches. Yes, Zoom Truth, that's exactly what I wanted to bring up today too, because I have a little GoFundMe for, basically I'm trying to get a little power battery, like a portable battery pack that you can actually plug things in, and I have here of old school monitors, and they're not that heavy. If you take off the stand, it actually would be pretty light. And then my idea was to take these and run with a battery pack and walk around like what we do with our flat smacking, showing nothing but high altitude footage, and then like a bunch of obvious NASA screw ups and stuff like that, so people can actually see that stuff. So yeah, that's a genius idea. Tablet probably would be a lot lighter. So for the DIY crowd out there, that is definitely the way to go. So sorry if I'm hitting the microphone and stuff. Yes, yes, and make sure you have like a good SD card or something on there where you can load it up with tons of good stuff. Um, so I'm a painter, and I have a couple of paintings here. I just wanted to show this real quickly. I painted this. I had a dream basically. This is right after, not too long ago, from the whole realization of the Earth being flat. Um, I had a dream about the firmament, and I saw some stuff in it, and I kind of painted it. And what it was is it was like, and they all started to move, and when I saw them move, it sort of looked like the amoeba stuff you see in the bottoms of the oceans. Uh, Pretty crazy stuff. So yeah, so I painted that because I got really excited about that. And then there's another painting too. Hold on one second. I wanted to show you. It's about the firmament as well. Here it is. All right. Boop, boop. So I have sort of like a magnetic pole kind of thing. I don't know what that is. Something in the center. Sun and moon, four corners of the earth, and then some sort of eye looking down. But then I also started putting these amoeba things, the ones from the painting there. I'm actually going to be filling in this whole space here. So that brings me up to the next thing that I'm talking with on the whole flat earth activism thing. And that is, if there's artists out there, because we have had some musicians, appear on the scene and do some great stuff. Um, but for some artists out there, what you do, whatever you're good at, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you good at? Are you good at web stuff? Okay, well then there's your field of activism. You could probably come up with some really good information online, some good pamphlets and stuff like that, and pass those out. Same thing goes with those of you who are good with like Photoshop or Illustrator or things like that. And then those who are not good, you always can borrow resources from other flat earth activists as well, and then go out and use that too. So and then there's always yeah, projectors on buildings. Yeah, Grounded by Flat Earth has got some good ideas there, and that's what we need to be thinking about. And then there's the drone world and all these other things that you can be getting messages out with that could get more attention. So what are you good at? What can you bring to the flat earth community as an artist? What do you want to bring, and what do you want to see in the community be told? Like, for me, it was just about promoting more critical thought, because I noticed that the world around me seems asleep. Everybody feels that feeling, now that you walk around, it's like zombie universe, so how can we get the message to them? So when I worked on Nevermore, that was like my main thing, was like, bridge a gap. Young people need to know about this message. Old people need to know about this message. Regular people need to know about this message. What can I use to bridge the gap? Animation was my thing. Art is my thing. So that's why I worked with Andrew. Friend of Yahweh, amazing dude. Like, me and him working together, I learned so much about what I need to do as a person to step up to make things happen, and then also what I can contribute. I learned so much about myself. I didn't really think of myself as a public speaker before this, and now I'm getting used to speaking in public on a daily basis. So what else? Wanted to talk about. So now you have some stuff you can go out and talk to the people. You got maybe stickers, maybe you got pamphlets, maybe you got little printout sheets, whatever you got, even if you hand wrote it. I did that too, actually. I would go to a bar, and I'm not a drinker, but a lot of my friends drink, so I'll go hang out in the bar, maybe have a beer, and then I'll ask the waitress or the bartender for a piece of paper and a pen, and then just for a second, and I just for a little piece of paper, and I'll write flat Earth like maybe 10 times on a strip or whatever, and then I'll give that pen back to her, tear that piece of paper into little tiny pieces that all say flat Earth, and somebody's drinking, and I'll just slip it in front of them, and then walk around and hey, hand it to them, put it in their hand, and then make them read it. Be like, read that, you know and then they say flat Earth. And like, yeah, you ever thought about that? No. What is it? And then you have a chance to explain. So, there's tons of stuff that you can do. uh, is it Skylar Hart or yeah, Skylar Hart, right? That's a great idea. Wearable LCD TVs, speakers. Yep. That's what I was talking about a second ago. We do need that. We do. We need more people do that. I don't know if you guys. I'm a vegan. Oh, hey, enslaved by truth. So it is Skylar. So it's you. Okay. I didn't realize you had a YouTube channel under that. Awesome. So yeah. So where was I going with this? Yeah, the screens and stuff like that. Like I didn't realize. There's so many things. Like I'm vegan myself, so I've seen other vegans do this where they have all the horrific atrocities committed by the mainstream food agriculture to these animals is basically like a holocaust. If you may not agree with me, that's fine. I'm just talking about the methods that they use, and they use these screens, and these screens basically you show people it's like a slap to the face, like worse flat smacking. So if we do that with flat Earth related material, like NASA glitches and harnesses being exposed and high altitude footage and stuff like that, running on these screens, this can be the future for flat smacking. This might be the future for flat smacking because ultimately we're looking for an effective method for getting that message out. But there are other people out there who do in their own way too, and that's what I want to inspire as well. We all should be doing it. So if you don't like one thing about activism, you can move to something else. There's so many things that we could be doing that can open the world to other people, and that's important, and that's what we need to be doing. So like for instance, Mikey Smith just recently started doing activism. Amazing, amazing dude. He's been hanging out with Flat Earth Fokker. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He's also another amazing dude. Um, Obviously, you know, Zoom Truth, who I just got on. You actually subscribed to me, and then I discovered you didn't realize you were subscribed to me. And dude, you're awesome. I'm so thankful for what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job. Um, out there. So thank you. And then also, uh, Marilyn Spirit Level Teed, also another amazing person doing amazing work out there. And if you see how much effort she puts into setting up, you know, that the rig with the banner on, God bless her. Like, I'm like, she's a trooper. She really needs like two or three people helping her, do all this stuff, but she does it. She sets it up and she gets it out there and she talks to other people. These are things that we could be doing. So another thing you can do is, you know, go on Amazon, and I'm not I'm not promoting Amazon for whatever. I'm just saying there's pretty cool things that you can do on Amazon. Like for instance, there's this banner, a couple banner companies on there where you can actually just type your message on their little, checkout page, and then they'll print a banner with that message on it. Simple as that. You could just put flat Earth, or whatever. and they're not that expensive. Like I think I saw some for like $14 for like a 3x5 banner. That's not bad. That's not bad. You know, that's pretty decent size for one person to hold. And it's big enough to get the message out there. And if you want to spend a little more, you can get one of those bigger ones. And then there are also different things you can do. Like for instance, like I don't know if you guys are on Instagram, but if you're looking for a way to get the message out, and let's say you're not good with computers or graphic design or anything like that, and you're like, well, I want to put my own information. Well, what you can do is go into places like Instagram, find a bunch of great flat Earth posters out there, and then just screen cap some really good flat Earth meme content, and then just take that and then lay those them out. Lay those out on a banner. Like you'll definitely need to lay them out in a program. So yeah, that's where you'll be limited in. But if you can find a program or an app on your phone where you can lay these out at a large enough file size, there you go. Like you can get stuff about the horizon, the curvature chart. You can get a meme about high altitude footage. You can get another meme that talks about how gravity is just a theory, and then yada yada yada, and kind of put all that onto a banner and print that out, which is kind of what we want to do next. So yeah, there are things that we could be doing um, to get the message out, and ultimately we also have to, even if you're not the type of person to go stand on a corner and talk to people and be like, hey, I'm a flat earther, you want to talk about flat earth? If that's not your thing, all right, there's other things you can do. Like I said, a homeless guy on the street asks for change, give him a buck, tell him about the flat earth. He might not research it, but maybe get him thinking about it. Give him the chance to look into it. Give him the chance to ponder on the concept. Get the message out however you want. You're at the supermarket, you're in checkout, you know, mention flat earth to the person behind you, to in front of you, to the cash register. Maybe get one of those little reusable grocery bags and then just write flat earth on the grocery bag. And every time you go to check out at the grocery store, whoever's taking your bag is going to be like, okay, flat earth. Maybe they'll say something, maybe they won't, put it in their heads. Um, it's ultimately about exposure. T-shirts too. You can go to one of those like 1 hour custom shops, print out flat earth on there, a little message on there, wear that t-shirt. Um, we can all be doing actively activism. Activism doesn't mean walking down the street with a sign. It could mean just our approach on getting the message out. We're actively telling people about the flat Earth. Um, Another thing you can do too is what I've done with. I have a bunch of friends that do not like flat Earth at all. I don't even know if I can hardly call them friends, but I kind of I love everybody. I love everybody. They're my friends. But what I do is I just try to instill doubt. I don't talk about the flat earth around them. I just talk about the ridiculousness of what they believe around them, you know? So, look for little ways to do that. It's hard with certain friends. Like I have this friend, right? And it helped that he's a tattoo artist. So when I heard that this famous tattoo artist just went flat earther, his name is Sir Twice. This is actually pretty recent. It was like only, I believe, last week. He just announced on his Instagram feed, he had something like 27,000, maybe even more beforehand, and just announced that he was a flat earther. And he's got videos, books, so much material in the tattoo industry. It's ridiculous. The guy is like a critically acclaimed artist, for his. It's sort of like a Cali style script, but from Chicago. Um, like really dope stuff. And this guy just came out and basically said, "Hey, I'm a flat earther," and you got to understand that takes some balls because I don't know if you know this, but in the tattoo industry, it's satanistically run. I mean, everybody that's a tattooer, whether they believe in Satan or not, still heavily promote Satanism. Like that's the insanity. So for him to come out and say that, he's basically telling the mainstream community, piss off. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a big deal. Like he basically just said, "I'm no longer working for you guys." It was basically like he like resigned from the community. But at the same time, he's going to do great because I looked on his thread, and then a lot of other tattoo artists came out and said the Earth is flat. So then it trickled this effect where like you have all these flat earthers, these tattoo artists that are now saying openly that they're flat earthers. So Sir Twice, check them out on Instagram. It's like Instagram /SIRTWICE. He posted a couple memes recently about the flat Earth. He saw how everybody got upset and butthurt off of it, and even it cracked jokes at the satanic people for getting butthurt off of it. Um, and uh, he even has a YouTube channel too. So I think you can find him here on YouTube. So the point is, I sent that to my non flat Earth buddy. It's just, hey, this is just current events, and I let him look at that and work it out in his head because he doesn't have to argue with me about it. I'm just like, hey, this is the guy you used to like. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Spherical Cow, how's it going, man? Thanks for coming in. Thanks. So I was just talking about you know actively being an activist, getting the message out, doing the good work. Yes, of course. So yeah. So I mean, aside from that, talking to your friends, family. Please talk to your family. It's hard. I broke it to my mom. My mom, it went over great. She's a flat earther now. I broke it to my dad. It went over. I didn't break it to my dad. He actually found out after Nevermore. One of my nephews, I think, passed the link along. I don't know what happened, but he ended up seeing uh, Nevermore, and then I guess figured it out from there. Um, and he's still on the fence, but he accepts me, and it's good that they know because at least they know that it's a topic of discussion and it's important. That's that's the most important part of it all. Whether people are going to believe you or not, it's a topic of discussion, and it's important because it's affecting the world. Those are the two things that you just have to say, and that's good enough for getting that message out with that particular crowd, unless they're more open to anything else. So, with that being said, here's some other early stickers. These, I don't know if you've seen these. These are freaking awesome. Friend of Yahweh designed these. Try to get this into focus. I'm using my webcam, so it's doing a horrible. Oh, here we go. Don't be like this guy. YouTube flat Earth. So yeah. I've been binge watching Zoom Truth's channel as well. Also another great flat Earth activism channel. There's some more, some old school. I like the little graffiti-esque style to it. Um, There's some early ones. Indoctrination is not education. Research flat Earth. Flat Earth. Cure for globitis. What else? I'm like, what else do I have? Oh, I'm sorry. Don't get offended by this one. Stop talking out of your butthole. Gravity is just a theory. Research flat Earth. Oh man, I'm kind of trolling the Globers with that one, and then multicolor, something like that. What else? Um, this was also another way I just printed these, and they're just little labels. On a label sheet, what I did was I printed like a crap ton just going down these, and cut them out, and then just started sticking them on products at grocery stores and stuff. So they're great because they're so tiny. You can just keep them in your hand. And I did that. Zoom Truth, where you buy them. So yeah, um, printed these on the computer myself with a regular inkjet printer. So when you print these out, they're mostly like indoor stickers because they're gonna fade in the weather and stuff like that. Or if you want to take it to the next step, you can get something like this, which is an acrylic spray. And then what you do is you just lightly spray it over whatever you print on the inkjet printer. And then you can make cool stickers that are waterproof, weatherproof. Well, they're not. It depends on how good of a label you use. I was using these cheap ones where I think it was like 1,000 for like $10 on Amazon. Sticker sheets, super cheap. Um, they kind of suck, so that you kind of need to give them the clear coat spray, but they stick better to certain surfaces, and in other surfaces they just come right off. So if you're trying to put them up outside, they won't last. After 2 or 3 rains, they'll shrivel up and fall off. But hey, that's why I use them outside, because I'm like, they're temporary, you know. Um, so yeah, that's stuff you can do. So what else? What else? um, talked about techniques. Talked about the future of activism. Where are we going, man? You guys, where are we going? We're supposed to be getting this message out there. So I think, in my opinion, I've talked to Harry from John Smith Global Eye, and we talked about getting together as activists, as a community. So for instance, like you, Zoom Truth, um, who's actively out there doing stuff, and other people too, in the United States, get together and sort of regularly communicate and regularly organize huge activism events. Not just that, but just work together and promoting each other. So what you're doing, promote you, push you, because the more people that see that there's more activists doing it, the more they're going to be like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. There's other people doing it. It's not just me. I'm not just by myself. Um, yeah, that's going to be huge for us. Yes, thank you, Zoom. Thank you. Yeah, I love what you're doing, man. Like, I feel like you're my brother already. Like, I watched your videos and I'm like, yes, I totally feel you. We know what it's like to be out there. And that's another thing too. Um, for those of you getting into activism, you know, I know you're worried. I know you're worried about the rejection, but the message, man, right? It's all about the message. Like, what's more important than the message? Can you swallow your personal pride for 2 minutes to get the message out? Can you? uh, I've been I've personally my whole life lived in ridicule and whatever. I've had a really rough life, so I'm not worried about somebody who doesn't agree with me knowing that the Earth is flat. I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that, because I've dealt with ridicule my whole life. For other people, it might be harder, but when you have truth on your side, I mean, what more do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have truth. No matter how you slice it, no matter how they see you, in the end, the Earth is flat. They just haven't realized it yet. So they'll get there, but don't worry about it, because So, you know, yeah. So definitely, thank you, all people, free people. So yeah, this is what we got to do. This is our responsibility. So, um, I've been a flat earther. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat. I've been a flat earther. I want to say, can I say before flat Earth? Because honestly, a year before, like before 2014 ish, 2014 ish, something like that. I was looking into like hollow Earth theory, and I remember standing on the porch with my buddy, and we're looking up at the stars, and I turn to him and I say, "Dude, you ever wondered why we always see the same stars and we're supposed to be spinning and all this stuff, and how come the stars don't move? How come they're all fixed? Shouldn't they all be moving in different directions? And I remember he looked at me and he said, "Are you an idiot?" He's like, "There are scientists," and he did that whole thing. And that was the first time I experienced cognitive dissonance, and it like lit off a light bulb in my head that I was onto something. I think this is how other uh, people that have discovered the Earth is flat before it went viral did it too, where they noticed uh, the resistance. Like they took notice of the resistance they got from questioning certain things. Like I remembered from being, what was it, like in the 5th or 6th grade, and I told my teacher, and there was a picture of it was like the picture of our universe, and it had "you are here" with a little arrow pointed at it. And I remember I told my teacher, I said, "Is that a real NASA picture?" And he said, "Yeah, that's real space." And I was like, "How did they get so far to take the picture? How did they take the picture?" And I remember he looked at me and he was just like puzzled for a second. And then I remember he got mad at me. And I remember I felt like bad for asking the question. And I remember deep down in my heart, I felt like I was an idiot for asking a question like that. So when I got in that argument with my buddy and he told me about the parallax thing being ridiculous and how scientists already know parallax, I super flashed back to that moment when I was a kid and the whole science thing. And then I started realizing that there's something going on here. And originally, I was getting into like, I didn't think anything was real. And I was like, this is an illusion. Like, people are, I don't know what's going on. Like, I had questions. So then I started looking into stuff. And then I found Hollow Earth. And I remember I was like, yes, that's got to be it. Like, we got to be like, it was in inner Earth. It was like you're inside of the ball, and I'm like, that's got to be it. It's got to be something like that. And then a year later, I had a little suggestion for a little flat Earth channel. I'm pretty sure it was Eric Dubay, and I watched it, and I remember saying to myself, well, this seems way more scientific than this. This seems more credible than this. And then I started realizing, like, this is just an idea. This is something that I need to look at. This is an idea. This is something I need to study. And then I started looking into flat Earth. And as soon as Mark Sargent came out with his flat Earth clues, I was already a flat earther. I was already like there. I was like, nah, it's flat. Because at that time, I didn't trust anything. So then I went to being this guy in his bedroom, losing his mind as I watched the beginning of flat Earth happen before me. And as every video came out, it made it more real. It made it more real. So I was in denial. So for the first 3 years, for 2.5, 3-ish years, up until recently, I was literally in denial. I was scared because I was like, the earth is flat. And I would talk about it to my friends and they would like laugh at me and mock me. But at the time, flat earther wasn't a mocked and ridiculed thing as much as it is today. So I had a lot more open reactions then than I do now. And, you know, so I got to that point where I was like, oh crap, I just watched an entire flat earth community just pop up out of thin air and exist. And I'm like, with more and more proof every day that the earth is flat. And then I was like, why am I not doing this? Why am I not out there getting this message out? Out. Like why am I just sitting here watching it happen? And then I was like, I started the Flat Earth Meetup. I started the YouTube channel first. I started working with Friend of Yahweh. Then I started the Flat Earth Meetup because it was like everything I did, it wasn't enough. It was like, I'm doing this now. Okay, no, it's not enough. I'm doing this now. Oh crap, it's not enough. Okay, I'm doing this now. So all the way up until the point I got to doing activism, when I did the first official Flat Earth Meetup. Yeah, the meetup's working out. I have on average 3 or 4 people show up, maybe less sometimes, but I have over 50 members. I don't know how that works. So, I have all these members on my meetup, and I don't meet them, but it's my fault too because the only days that I can do my meetup are like on Mondays and Thursdays and sometimes other days. So I think I need to just make them more weekend days because most people have, Friday night, Saturday night off. Um, so I'll probably be setting up a really big one soon. But I like the activism. Like every time I do them, we go from food to straight up activism. We don't really hang around and tug each other's chains and say, "You're a flat earther, I'm a flat earther. Hey, we're flat earthers." We're just like, "Okay, let's go out there and tell people. All right, let's go do it." And then we go and do it. So, yeah, yes, enslave by truth. Skylar, would love to have you. Would love to have you come with us. The more, the merrier. And I just found out that my nephew and his girlfriend are going to be start joining us. He's flat earther, she's a flat earther, and they both watch my channel, and they're going to be doing it. I think I've finally inspired them enough to go out there and start talking to people. So um, I'm looking forward to the day when we go out there and there's like 15, 20 people with me. I'm really looking forward to that day because then we're really going to be doing stuff, and that's what I needed to get to. Right now it's just us having fun, but getting the message out. But ultimately what I want is I want it not to be ignored anymore. I want it to be so much in people's faces that they have to start taking this seriously, and to start looking at this. So yeah. So with that being said, anybody have any other questions about flat Earth, me, stuff, life? Feel free. We're gonna definitely have to start working together and come together as a community and start promoting each other. However you want to do it, I promote people, as well on the flyer, like other YouTubers that are doing great stuff. You know, on my channel, even people who are not, I call, try to name drop even people who are not activists on my channel because I want them to get inspired and want to be in the public's eye and speak from their hearts too. So yeah, I guess I'm running out of things to say now. I kind of covered all the main things that I wanted to cover. Um, but yeah, yeah. Critical Inception. I would love you to come to Chicago to Flat Smack. You know, obviously, I hope you find somebody where you're, out by you. But um, Chicago is definitely great. um, I don't know if I'm going to be here forever. I might move out of Chicago eventually, go to another city or town. I've lived here my whole life. I'm kind of tired of it, but it's a great platform for flat Earth, so I'm kind of sticking with it right now. So yes, yeah, I would love to go to England to Speaker's Corner or John James. That would be amazing. Yeah, I think that's what I was talking about. I went off on a tangent earlier. I was talking to Harry, John Smith Globe Lie, and we were trying to come together as a community and looking for a way to do that. And we were planning on, maybe, doing a hangout, a live hangout event, and offering some more ideas and suggestions to people out there doing this, and you know definitely want to work with them further and do more stuff as well. That includes borrowing, exchanging of resources, or anything like that, or even organizing a worldwide event, which is something I came up with not too long ago. Would be cool. Like maybe if there was like a world's flat earth day and everybody that day went out and got the message out however they can, something to that extent. I mean, these are crazy ideas, but I'm just throwing them out there, because ultimately what I want is, more people um, getting, getting the information. So yeah. So I guess that's it. I mean, I don't really have too much to offer besides that short little conversation. I don't know how well I did. um, but yeah, yeah. Thanks for coming out, guys, and I look forward to what we can do as a community to the futures of activism and what we can do to inspire other people. So hopefully, we can start working together. Zoom Truth, hit me up, brother. I will see if I can send you a private message on your channel. If not, I do have my email on my channel, so email me so we can work together further in the future. And anybody else out there who's listening that wants to, possibly work together in the future on some activism stuff. So, yeah, we'll all come together as a community. Maybe do a live hangout soon. And get a good dialogue going to help, instill it in the community that it's time we start taking action. Like, there's enough information out there for people to see this truth, so let's get it out. It's our job now to take it to the next step. So, all right, with that being said, much love to everyone. Thanks for joining me on this live stream. Hopefully, I didn't sound too crazy. I kind of jumped all over the place, but I just try to get as much as what I can say out there. And God bless all of you guys, and much love. Thanks for coming out. Peace.